Hey folks, this is Michelle Charles Gustafson. You're listening to the Confidence Shift podcast, where we talk about how to get more out of life with your personal growth in your confidence and creating success. I'm here to help empower you to see your value, be disciplined in finding new freedom, and to live a life of permanently renewable self-belief so that you can live up to your potential and leave your legacy. Simple as that. Let's jump in. Good day, friends. Happy New Year, folks. Happy New Year. It's 2021 and I am back on the podcast. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the podcast. I posted on Instagram that I was going to take a minute to think about it. I was going to take a minute to think about my intentions for it. And my husband a lot of times reminds me to take my own advice. And the advice that I gave on CTV, my morning show appearance at the end of December, about coming into your intentions for the new year instead of creating resolutions for yourself, I listened to my own advice. So my intention this year, I have a few of them, as my people know. We make a few for different areas of our lives based on how we want to do our lives. And one of them, for me, was to continually challenge my communities. And what I mean by that is to bring always a sense of, I need to think of this in a different way for myself. That's one of my intentions. And so I thought, you know what? Let me use my podcast rolled into all the things that I've been doing, whether I do video or I am talking about my book or doing a workshop or doing a masterclass or with my clients. I want to continually challenge you to think about your confidence, how you present yourself, how you show up, how you embrace your individuality, how you decide what freedom is for you. And so that's what I'm going to do on the podcast. And I think I'll be using some pages and bits from my book that just came out in November of 2020. Sorry, that just came out in October of 2020. And I think I'll be using my own words as inspiration for you to explore more. So that's my intention, and welcome back. I'm excited that you're here. So today's topic is about clarity. Clarity creates freedom. This is something I have said to my clients mostly, and a little bit to my communities since about 2014. Whatever it is, this phrase drives basically everything that I do. And after appearing on CTV at the end of December, just before New Year's, and to give insights on New Year's resolutions or unresolutions, I got some really good feedback from Canada, from all sorts of places. And I wanted to bring you a little more on what I mean by clarity and intentions and what it means to look at your next level of success. So I live in Northern Alberta, Canada, if you're not aware, but I work all over the world through the magic and wonder of the internet. And in Alberta, we're on the prairies here, we get some really big skies, okay? And when the sun rises, it floods the entire field and the horizon, the wide open landscape. So I want you to think in your mind the last time you were somewhere that had wide open landscapes. Maybe they were fields or somewhere it felt you could see for miles. And notice in your mind how the sun rises. It brings light first, even before the orb is over the horizon. The light starts to change the sky. And if you know me, I'm a color lover. So it starts to change the colors of the sky. And it goes from, like indigo to like a really light cerulean. And then there's a little bit of peach as the sun comes over the horizon. And then the orb peaks over the horizon and you start to see the light spread across the landscape. And that bliss of a morning sunrise, daybreak, is a metaphor for how clarity creates freedom in your life. There's not a person alive that doesn't want a sense of freedom. And I actually heard freedom compared against love, and in how humans want to experience connection. And arguably, people might want freedom more. Freedom is a power, choice, and growth and independence. And, in the last while, 2020 to be particular, freedom has seemed to be lean in how we work, in growing businesses, in lifestyle, in how you have to run your life. And even though it's a new year, it still feels a little bit restricted and maybe a little suffocating and leaving us wondering where to go next. But you know what? There is a bright side, because just like the sun rises and sheds light on an entire new day across the fields as it comes over the horizon, clarity creates freedom like that for you in your life. It's just a matter of seeing it that way. And without clarity, what ends up happening is that you run in circles and you get caught up in the wrong things that inevitably bring you down. They waste time, they waste energy, they have you distracted and feeling limited. But when you have a sense of clarity, that is the road to freedom. You get certain about things, you get sure about things, and a flow comes that attracts things into your life that you didn't think were possible, and maybe in ways you didn't know were going to show up. And so when we look at clarity, I always talk about it in the idea that there are 11 areas of your life, and I talk about this in my book, Show Up Confident, that there are 11 areas in your life that need clarity. And that when they're all working in the same way, that's how you get to the sense of joy and happiness and freedom, because everything is working at the same time. But clarity itself, like that word gets thrown around, but let me break down what it actually is that you need to have in all those 11 areas of your life to have this elusive clarity. Clarity is having an explicit and thoughtful expression of your values, how you want to run your life, what is important to you to express in your life. And thoughtful and explicit, I mean, explicit means out there, like you know them for sure, that if someone asked you what your values were, you could rattle them off. That's what I mean by explicit. And thoughtful means that you've put time and energy around understanding why they're explicit for you. Okay. The second thing, clarity is having detailed, defined definition of your intention above any idea of a goal. This is what I talked about on CTV. Goals are finite, you guys. Goals are win or loss. But when we think about understanding your intention behind what you want to create or do, that's never ending. But things that are never ending can sometimes be clouded with, I don't know what it is. Like they can be undefined. You need to be detailed and defined, that definition of what your intention is. It's got to be as explicit as your values are. Can you rattle them off? The other thing that clarity is having commitment to your meaningful outcome. So I talk about meaningful outcomes and Show Up Confident is a different way to talk about purpose, because it's a little easier to grasp. Purpose is huge. It's got this big thing behind it and big weight around it. And a meaningful outcome is a certain type of purpose that has 4 components that really, once you understand those 4 components for yourself, they encompass your values, they encompass your intention, and they help you get really clear. But it's a commitment to doing that meaningful outcome. through the other two things. When you have those three things together, you have clarity. And not until you have those three things together do you have true clarity that you can act upon. Everybody's talking about getting clear. It's the new year. Get clear, get ready, do all the things, get prepared. But nobody's really talking about what it takes to do that. These are the three things it takes to do that. And if you've got those things, you've got to start. But for the people who know that they are ready to act on it, those A+ results focused people, purpose-driven people, you need one more thing. And that one more thing is humility. Humility is this idea that you don't always know the answer of how to put those three things together, because those three things can be clear in one aspect. You can be thoughtful about your values, but undefined in your intention. You can have a commitment to wanting to grow your meaningful outcome, but aren't sure about your values. Getting those three things together takes a certain humility to know, I'm not sure how to put those all aligned together at the same time to produce results. And the results I mean are happy results. They are fulfilling results. And you know what? Knowing that you are humble enough to say, I'm not really sure how to do that. Look, there's always people in your life who can help you to do that, or you can seek people who would help you, whether it be that certain type of friend that I talk about in my book, that certain type of coach, or a mentor, which is a totally different relationship that helps you move towards that goal of understanding that amount of clarity that you want. And here's why it's all important. Here's the reason why clarity, once you grasp it, creates the freedom, is because clarity saves you from the two things that take you from it. Number one is limitations, and then number two are distractions. The distractions that come, especially around this type of year, if you don't have clarity, you will fall into looking around at things that don't matter, comparing yourself to other people. You know, when you look at the inspo quotes and they tell you what to be doing, except you're not sure how to actually do that, those are distractions. There's distractions from your own personal definition of what your clarity is. And the limitations that can keep you back from having that clarity include just a really short-sighted view of yourself and your power. We're human. So we focus on our limitations a lot. It's a survival of the fittest type thing, you know, our weaknesses and what we may not be strong in. But that's a limitation. And so having a way to open up what your possibilities are is a major piece of gaining this new clarity and all that comes with it. Those three pieces: the explicit and thoughtful expression of your values, the detailed and defined definition of your intention, and the commitment to your meaningful outcome. So how can you do that? Well, it's the people you're around. You know, I know this feels meaty, like a big long track, and it kind of is, because I've been doing this for almost 25 years, helping folks put this in order. And it's not a short track, especially if you haven't done it before. Pieces have to be in line, and it starts inside you. It starts inside you. You find that definition, and then you place people around you, and then you get real clear. And from that clarity, then you start taking meaningful action in the right direction. And then all of a sudden, success shows up. It's pretty awesome. So the right people, the right friends, the right mentors, the right people who can be around you to bring you that clarity, keep you on the track to moving forward. So I know it's a new year, and I wanted to bring you clarity. I wanted to challenge you and your thought processes around what creating freedom is going to be like for you moving forward, because the swirling of the world is never going away. It's you standing in the eye of the storm with conviction and clarity that's going to make it all make sense for you. So if you want to create anything going forward, whether it be for your business, advancement in your career, advancement in your personal self description, self-worth, and self definition. If you want to create a bigger impact, make bigger networks, it all starts with you and your level of clarity. Your level of clarity will be equal to your level of freedom that you're going to create. How clear are you? Now's the time to start getting it together. Focus on that first. And the aims, the goals, the things you want to create will start to fall into line. Good luck with it as you move through this journey. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for listening. I know you can tell that I believe that a strategic image and a confidence mindset is something everyone who wants to make an impact needs. A shift in confidence can change your life. Using my degree in marketing strategy, expertise in personal branding, and my creative self-development process, I've helped thousands shift their confidence, starting with how they see themselves in the mirror, in my signature Hue & Style mentorship program. You can explore my book, Show Up Confident, explore how I work with my clients, and see their amazing results and breakthroughs too. It's all at hueandstyle.com. Join the community and start to see how making the image, mindset, success connection can create a breakthrough in your life too. I can't wait to see you there. Bye for now.